There it is, Donald, haunted by your own past as your body is physically rotting in public, as you're deteriorating before our eyes. Your attempt to show proof of life yesterday looked like Weekend at Donnie's as you gave one of the most bizarre press conferences I've ever seen that you could barely get through. As you zoom in on your hand, it looks like it's almost like totally blue at this point. Your ankles are basically exploding from the inflammation. But sure, Donnie, the White House says it's just because you shake a lot of hands. Look at this side view of Donald Trump. It looks like the person from Men in Black, one that puts on like the bodysuit and it's actually the alien underneath. You know that scene? I forget what the character it is, but they were like in Queens, and I like that movie growing up. I want to talk about, though, what Donald Trump's been doing, the utter weakness, both on the inside and out. And then let's contrast it what's going on around in the world. But today is a big day. The Epstein survivors are speaking out. We're going to have it here on the MeidasTouch Network. My promise to you always was to fearlessly and courageously lead the coverage on the issues that matter most. So we will be streaming here. Check it out. It's live today. The Epstein survivors speaking out. It's what Donald Trump feared the most. The DOJ ignored them. And it is an honor here at the MeidasTouch Network, even if we can play a small part in amplifying their stories. So here's what Donald Trump, though, is posting on social media now. The big question to be answered is whether or not President Xi of China will mention the massive amount of support and blood that the United States of America gave to China in order to help it secure its freedom from a very unfriendly foreign invader. Many Americans died in China's quest for victory and glory. I hope that they are rightfully honored and remembered for their bravery and sacrifice. May President Xi and the wonderful people of China have a great lasting day of celebration. Please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America. President Donald J. Trump, as they are conspiring against the United States of America, you idiot. But why do you look like a pathetic and jilted lover? Enjoy the honeymoon as you conspire against what we could have had together. I mean, look, as Donald Trump offends, attacks, and alienates our allies here in the United States, as Donald Trump had that humiliating half-day appearance at the G7 before he ran and scurried back to the United States, Xi Jinping just held a massive conference in Tianjin. He had Prime Minister Modi of India visit, the first time Modi's visited China in 7 years. You had Vladimir Putin there. You had all of these leaders across the world basically saying Xi Jinping is now the leader of an axis of, they weren't saying it this way, but of an axis that is a stronger pole in a multipolar world than the United States. So just take a look at the actions just in the past 24 hours. So all of that military might that Donald Trump sent to the coast of Venezuela, we had 5 ships, a nuclear submarine, amongst other major assets around Venezuela. Donald Trump attacks a little teeny tiny fishing boat and kills 11 people. And then he posts on social media this ridiculous video that he posts of himself, this snuff film of himself killing 11 people who he says are Tren de Aragua. Donald Trump says, earlier this morning on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua narco-terrorists in the Southcom area of responsibility. TDA is a designated foreign terrorist organization operating under the control of Nicolas Maduro, responsible for mass murder. So you had the American military, all of these ships, go right by Venezuela to attack this little fish boat and kill 11 people. And then you post the video of you murdering these 11 people. As Adam Isaacson writes, Here's the video Trump just posted to Truth Social with the claim that 11 people aboard the boat were killed. Did that get you off, Donald? Did that turn you on watching 11 people die at your command, you freaking sicko? It makes you look so weak. As Isaacson goes on to say, there is zero evidence of self-defense here. Looks like a massacre of civilians at sea, even if they had drugs aboard. That's not a capital offense. Trump's judge, jury, and executioner of people. And by the way, we know that Donald Trump has labeled so many people here in the United States, Tren de Aragua and MS-13, that aren't actually Tren de Aragua and MS-13, just murdered 11 people. Just murder. Rex Hupke goes, looking forward to the sanctity of human life crowd weighing in on the United States posting a snuff film. Aaron Reichlin Melnick writes, drug trafficking is not a capital crime. It doesn't carry a death sentence. I genuinely cannot think of anything under U.S. law that would permit premeditated government assassination of people suspected of drug trafficking. I mean, think about Abu Ghraib, like the scandal of Abu Ghraib, a big freaking scandal to see the United States military torturing people and behaving like that, right? The outrage, the righteous outrage that exists. Donald Trump just posting himself attacking fishing boats and saying, well, there was 11 gang members, so this is what our military does. To me, that reeks of freaking weakness right there. Because that's what Donald Trump, he wanted to look tough because what was happening in China was the largest military parade in recent history, largest military parade ever. Notably, they picked Tiananmen Square to do it in Beijing. You had Putin there. You had Kim Jong-un there. You can just look, there they are together. The new axis of evil. You can look at the military weapons and trucks that are there. And as Trump, again, weak, decomposing, rotting, sickly, covering up for a sex pedo ring of Epstein and Ghislaine, this is what China was doing. Here's the video from China, from Xi Jinping. Here, play this clip. So when Donald Trump was asked at that bizarre press conference yesterday, what do you think about the military parade? Does that concern you? Donald Trump, like a little baby's like, no. It's like I'm watching this. I'm like, you're like a little freaking child. Who looks at this as like, oh, that's a tough guy? No. I mean, you look like that parrot that I follow on TikTok that goes, no. Here, play this clip.
Sir, China's having a massive military parade that President Putin and Kim Jong-un will be attending. Do you interpret that as a challenge to this? And are you concerned at all about those countries trying to be some sort of counterweight?
Not at all. China needs us, and I have a very good relationship with President Xi, as you know, but China needs us much more than we need them. No, I don't see that at all, no. And I had actually a very good meeting with President Putin a couple of weeks ago. We'll see if anything comes out of it. If it doesn't, we'll take a different stance.
Here's the audio of Trump from yesterday posted by Scott Jennings. This guy's a Trump bootlicker. This guy's a Trump sycophant, right? And Trump sounds so sickly on this. Listen to his voice in this thing. Here, play this clip right here.
I'm very disappointed in him. He and I always had a great relationship. I'm very disappointed. Thousands of people are dying. They're not Americans that are dying, but they're Russians and they're Ukrainians, and there's thousands, and it's a war that makes no sense. And it would have never started if I were president, and that's what bothers me even more, because the election was totally rigged, and it's a shame. We'll see what happens, but I'm very disappointed in President Putin. I can say that, and we'll be doing something to help people live. You know, it's not a question of Ukraine. It's help people live. 7,000 people are dying every single week. Soldiers, mostly. But 7,000 people. And if I can help to stop that, I think I have an obligation to do it.
Hey, sounds freaking horrible. So in advance of the Epstein survivors speaking out today, they spoke exclusively with NBC yesterday, and they were asked about the DOJ reaching out to them. And, did they hear that Ghislaine was being transferred from the Ghislaine Maxwell, the sex trafficker, Epstein's co-conspirator, from the minimum security facility in Tallahassee, from the maximum security facility in Tallahassee to the minimum security facility in Bryan, Texas. Has the DOJ contacted you? Watch this, play this clip.
So can I get a show of hands? Who here is satisfied with the level of contact they've had from Congress? Nobody. Let me ask this. How about the Justice Department? I want to ask a couple of things about what you knew about things that were happening with this case that you're obviously involved with. Show of hands. Did any of you hear from the Justice Department before they released that memo, that 2-page memo earlier this summer? No hands. Were any of you told that Todd Blanche would be speaking with Ghislaine Maxwell prior to that interview over the course of 2 days?
No.
No. Were any of you told about the prison transfer that Ghislaine Maxwell?
No.
Do any of you feel that the DOJ has communicated with you enough this year?
No.
Have any of you had any communication with the DOJ?
No.
Nobody in this room has heard at all from the Department of Justice?
No.
Is that surprising to you?
No. It should be. It should, yeah. Right?
But ultimately, Donald Trump doesn't care if he's destroying our country, because for him, it's just a grift for himself. It's just a grift for him and his family to make money, right? This week, it was a new Trump crypto, everybody. New Trump crypto drop. I mean, how ridiculous is this, right? People were like livid at Jimmy Carter's brother for having a business, and Jimmy Carter had to divest from his meager salary at his farms. And Donald Trump's family amassed a $5 billion fortune after their latest crypto launch. And this is the WLFI, World Liberty Financial Token. So you may be saying, well, Ben, didn't he do a crypto drop before? That was the Trump meme coin. But Ben, didn't he do a crypto drop before? That was the Trump NFT. Oh, and then there was Trump NFT Series 1, Series 2, Series 3. And then there was Trump meme coin, Melania meme coin, and now WLFI token. I know it's a little bit, how silly are we? We should have known this is a new token, right? Then you have people under investigation or previously under investigation from the SEC spending all their money on this token to kind of prop up its value so it doesn't just totally crash and crater, to suck up to the Trump regime, right? And then you have, by the way, World Liberty Financial. They took in huge amounts of money from the Pakistani crypto fund that they did in Pakistan right around the terrorist attack that took place in Kashmir. And then the chief of staff of the Pakistani army, Munir, then visited Donald Trump, and then Prime Minister Modi was offended. And then Prime Minister Modi was also offended. Oh, then Munir from Pakistan said, I'm going to nominate you for a Nobel Peace Prize, Donald, for bringing peace between India and Pakistan. And Donald Trump goes to Modi, I want the Nobel Peace Prize. Give me the nomination. And Modi's like, I'm not going to nominate you for a Nobel Peace Prize. You didn't stop the war between India and Pakistan. We have our own national sovereignty. I'm not going to lie and say you're the reason. You had nothing to do with why there was a ceasefire between India and Pakistan based on a 75-year conflict in Kashmir. Like, what the hell are you talking about? So then Trump's like 50% tariffs. That's why Trump's tariffing India 50%, because they didn't nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize. And Pakistan got on his good side by knowing the right buttons to push. And so then Modi goes to China, and Modi's was there with Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, and America looks weak. And Donald Trump's post is, please give my warmest regards to Vladdy and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against us. He. Like, dude, what are you doing? And how do people like objectively, how does anybody go, that's a tough guy. That's a tough guy right there. You're bombing freaking little fishing boats. The hell are you doing? Killing 11 people and then posting the killing of 11 people, you freaking sicko. Again, I don't care what political party, sick behavior, weak behavior. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.